Hello Cupcakes! This week for New Comic Book Day review video, we've got a new book by Robert Kirkman. This is Terminal. So we've got loads of DC books, we've got a lot of independent books. So stay tuned and check out the video. Alright guys, let's start off with Terminal. This is a new book by Image Comics and Robert Kirkman through his Skybound imprint. And so this is the art written by Robert Kirkman and Joe Casey. And it's the art is by multiple people. The first 4 issues are done by Andy Kubert, and the rest are going to be done by legends like Arthur Adams and David Finch. And what this is basically it's a setting up a new universe of superheroes, and it's going to be an ongoing series. It's not like a short or a mini or anything. So the story wise, you've got this team, Activators and the Awoken. Right, they're 2 separate teams, superpowered teams, and they're fighting each other, right? And our story begins with wherein you've got so first of all, the artwork is amazing. I have to really praise the artwork, like some really gory and brutal scenes here, as you can see. And our story begins with this girl. She's like our narrative path to the story. So she's looking for her sister who's gone missing, and then she's trying to look for her, and she goes to the dark web to find and locate where her sister is and what has happened to her, etc., etc. And her sister is one of the members of the superpower teams, so that's where she is from. And so and then you got a lot of action, you got a lot of excitement, you got a lot of new characters you need to get used to, right? So I don't recall all the names as of yet. I don't have a favorite one yet. But then again, the artwork was what kept me going. The story is pretty exciting too. So you got this guy is like Toad, but he's got fire hands like Wolverine, and he can slash people up. So he's called the Imp. And so you've got multitude of characters that are coming in, and there is a big twist at the end, and that was fun to see. So but overall I enjoyed it, guys. I think you should check it out too. They also did blind bags for this. Unfortunately, in my blind bag, I got the same cover A. So this is by Andy Kubert and this is by David Finch. So so again, not a total disappointment, but I got the same book all over again. So there's something to check out. And my blind bag unboxing is on the Instagram channel. So so if anybody wants to go and check that out, then please do. But that's, guys, is Terminal issue number 1 for you. Okay, next what we have from Image Comics is we've got Void Rivals. This is on issue 32. Can't believe it's issue 32 of Void Rivals already. So this is again Robert Kirkman again, and Connor Hughes does the art of this time. It's a Pythona-centric issue, which is great because I love that character. And so what's happening here is that after the Quintesson War, Darek and Solela, our space, interstellar lovers, have banded with Pythona to escape their planet and to look for help, because the Quintessons have taken over their planet and they want to fight them. And this is a story so they escape in this Leviathan ship, this is a fully organic ship with Pythona, and they're trying to escape out, right? But they end up crashing on this planet, and then without any hope. And the whole story is about them working alongside Pythona to figure out a way out of this planet. Again, a lot of great character moments. I think this is the first time that they gave Pythona a lot of character building, where does she come from, what is her values, what is near and dear to her, how does she fit in this whole Cobra La society and everything. And I was there, I was excited for it, and I dug it, I enjoyed it. It's issue 32, and it's pretty soon it'll be issue 50, man. And the best thing about it is they still haven't done any crossovers between the titles, right? I know that Optimus has shown up in G.I. Joe and a couple of others, but Void Rivals is still kind of independent, kind of doing its own thing with its own set of characters, and they really didn't have the need to also crossover, which is so brilliant and speaks a lot about this title. But that's my issue of review 30. That's my review of issue 32, guys. Void Rivals has been a great read. I implore you to check it out. Then let's jump on to some of the other independent books I bought. So this one is Excommunicated issue 3. So this is Jeremy Robinson and Thiago Palma who are doing the artwork. I've been praising this book. This is World Comics, and it's about a nun who basically bonds with a demon. right? So a nun and they're both excommunicated from their pack. So the demon is excommunicated from hell, and the nun is being excommunicated from her church. So they're both acting independently, and they both form a pact to figure out, like, somebody who's done bad things to them. So they basically fuse together, and you get this gorgeous Thiago Palma artwork where they turn into this monstrosity, and they're like slashing and bashing everybody, right? So this particular issue 3, focuses on, like, into the further into the dives deep into the plot of why this nun was fired in the first place. Like, there's definitely a conspiracy going on. So, and her monster, they get a little bit more close. The monster also gives her a little bit of a backstory of, like, demons and Satan, and how the first humans were formed, and what exactly are these demon creatures, right? And also the plot involves, like, the church. So yeah, it's exciting. Again, this 3 issues in, I am loving the story. I'm digging the story. Like, it's got grotesque artwork, and it's got an amazing kinetic story. So that's Excommunicated issue 3 for you guys. All right, our final independent title is Gun Honey Doubles Down. So yeah, this is issue number 2 of this new Gun Honey series. She looks a little bit, the cover is amazing. It's by Ace Continiado. So she looks a little bit like Indy Navarrete from Obsession, the new movie, right? And yeah, I dug this cover. I'm also digging the story. So the story is basically Joanna Tan, and she's supposed to kill this Russian kind of like oligarch, kind of like the prime minister. She's been given the contract to kill him, but what she doesn't know is, like, he's got like 3 body doubles, and she needs to infiltrate different bases, to figure out whether it's the original guy or is it a body double. So in the previous issue, she killed, like, one of the body doubles, and now she's again in this new installation, like a prison in Siberia, where she's still looking for that Russian oligarch whom she needs to kill. But will she find him, or will she encounter another duplicate, a doppelganger? You have to read to find out. Again, this is an R-rated book, so you've got a lot of, like, nudity and stuff in this. So, but yeah, overall, I dug it. I love the art. I love the story. I love the action. Charles Ardai is one of those prolific, like, noir, pulpy crime fiction writers, and everything he's doing, like, I'm been digging. So yeah, that's Gun Honey issue number 2 doubles down for you guys. I really love it. Okay, let's jump on to DC. And in DC, we've got, like, 2 absolute titles. So first, we've got Absolute Superman, which is probably one of my favorite titles now. Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval. Look at this gorgeous cover. Like, he's holding, Steel's hammer, and he's fighting King Shazam. It's so amazing, so iconic, and with his cape all, like, flowing around there. Like, this is so good. But again, as I said in my review of my last issue also, this is a big battle between Superman and King Shazam. So to avoid, like, destruction and death in the city, he takes him to the loon. So to the loon, what am I saying? To the moon. So he takes him to the moon, and then there's a big bad battle outside in the moon, and the battle sequences are amazing in this book. Like, Rafa Sandoval did some of the best work in his life. It's super kinetic, super dynamic art. And then it's basically, this is the final issue of this part of the arc, wherein King Shazam has to go toe to toe against Superman. So in the end, does he kill him? Does he win? How does he win? You got to read to find out. But I dug this. This is probably my pick of the week. This is what comic books should be. This is how it should be, like, energetic. It should flow. There was details to the action. It was not like, you're missing something. All the action you can see, like, you can feel what's going on. The lightning effects, the hammer effects, the tornadoes. It's like if 2 massive superpowered entities collide, what's going to happen, right? So yeah. And then the moon takes the major blunt, right? So yeah, really amazing book. Can't say much about it. Totally dug it. Issue 21, Absolute Superman. Totally check it out. Okay, then our next absolute book is Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 22. This is a cover by Juan Freya. I really dug this cover, like the look of it, the black and the reds, they contrast pretty well. This is Kelly Thompson, but Hayden Sherman is not on the art. You've got I don't know what his first name is. I think Dylan Snook. So Dylan Snook is the fill-in artist, and he's doing like these 2 issues. So this is a 2-issue arc wherein Diana's mother has been kidnapped by the Skilla. Skilla is like this monstrous beast with with a trident and with tentacles and with these 3 wolves for heads. And so her mother has been captured, and she's trying to fight the Scylla. And it's also a big brutal battle that's going on the side. At the side, you also have Barbara Minerva, who's trapped in with the cheetah god, and who offers her obviously the soul of the cheetah, right? And then it's also, so that's the B story. So both the A story and the B story were pretty fine. The A story being Wonder Woman taking on the monster and trying to free her mother, and the action again like totally blew my mind. And at the same time, the B story where Barbara Minerva is with the cheetah god was also pretty fun to watch. This is her, so she's got the this is Priscilla, who's like the previous cheetah who died, and the cheetah god speaks to Barbara Minerva and asking her to like take up the mantle and stuff. So both of the stories excellent. Kelly Thompson again, genius work on every single issue. Like how they're making each and every single issue like feel so fresh and so dynamic is amazing. But that, guys, is my review of issue number 22 of Wonder Woman. Great book again. All right, let's jump into regular DC continuity a little bit. So you've got Justice League issue number 921 here. This is Mark Waid and Dan Mora. So this is a Nathan Surtsey cover. It features Giganta in this box. So I loved it. I dug it. But also I dug this cover. This is this is by Kyle Kare Andrews. This is like a swimsuit special. So yeah, this is super cool. You've got Superman here who's like heating up his toast. You've got Batman here who's snorkeling. Wonder Woman is just lazing around in the sun, and you've got Power Girl here, and you've got like the Atom bouncing around in the pool. So yeah, I dug this cover. It's not like a wraparound cover or anything, but yeah, those 2 covers like caught my attention. There are 2 other covers also of this like which are like really, really good, but yeah, these are the ones that caught my attention, so I got them, guys. But let's talk a little bit about the story. So in the story, there are like, again, there's an A story and a B story. The A story is the Brainiac Queen has returned, and Batman and team are trying to face her off. And then the B story is, as you can see, is Guy Gardner and his team. They're like stranded on a planet with demons, with all these creatures who have basically gained the superpowers of the Justice League, and they're trying to survive there, right? So both the stories are working for now for me. Really good artwork by Dan Mora. Dan Mora never goes wrong. And Mark Waid is building up this team book, and it feels like a real team book because Mark Waid knows all these characters. He's been writing these for forever. So yeah, really, like even like a small panels where Stargirl shows up or Shazam shows up, like it feels organic. It doesn't feel like it's out of place or anything. And so it's if you're looking for a great team book, Avengers is not the thing. This is the thing. Read this and you'll be delighted and you'll be happy, guys. But anyway, that's my review of Justice League Unlimited issue 21, guys, and the great covers too. So yeah, then we've got this Mark Spears Zatanna cover. This is Zatanna issue number I want to say 2. Issue number 4 by Jamal Campbell, and I think this one is I just bought it for the covers, to be honest. I love Zatanna, but in this story is like she's becoming like the prime magus, which is like the sorcerer supreme of the DC universe. So she interacts with a couple of these magic entities who held the title before her. So there are like three entities. There is this god called Zehuti. Then you've got Hecate, and then you've got the Upside Down Man, who was a major villain in Justice League Dark by Ramvi. So yeah, so she's interacting with these and she's fixing up problems across the multi-universe, across the multiverse. It was okay. It didn't like catch me, like it didn't blow me away or anything. But yeah, overall I dug it. I loved it. But I bought it for the cover. This Mark Spears cover is amazing. Okay, then we've got one of my favorite reads of this week. This is Superman issue 40. This is again by Joshua Williamson and art is again by Dan Mora. So anything that has Dan Mora on the title, just buy it because it's really good. This one is particularly good in terms of like story as well as this thing. So this is the final issue featuring Superboy Prime in the Superman title, and it's been genius. It's been amazing, right? So in the last issue, Manchester Black makes Superboy Prime punch reality so he could come back to his corporeal form, and he does. And this is like an all-out battle between Superboy Prime and Manchester Black. What is great about this prime time 4-5 issue run is that Superboy Prime is given so much character development. So you have to understand that he was the main villain in Infinite Crisis, and now this guy has been on a redemption arc. So now he's trying to be a good guy, right? He's trying to fill in the shoes of Superman, who's basically lost after the events of DC KO. He starts getting, he gets a job at a comic book store, and those moments are hilarious, right? He's aware that the entire DC universe is basically exists in comic books, and he knows their past and present and future, and he gets to play around with all of that. And he breaks the fourth wall so many times, but it's so natural to hear him, like, you know, as a comic book fan, as a person who goes to every Wednesday to the comic book store and gets comic books. You know, this book is amazing. Even if you're not a Superman fan or a Superboy Prime fan, I would say read this book. This is phenomenal. These 5 prime time issues, it'll put a smile on your face. You know, really cool, really good. If you're a DC fan, then you're going to have a blast, because there are so many references to like older things that have happened in the DC universe. This thing is amazing, like literally really amazing. You know, so yeah, I dug it. And the final confrontation between these two characters is kinetic, is dynamic, like everything good you can think of that is there in this book. Yeah, and I'm sad to see that, you know, now Superboy Prime is no longer going to be featured in a comic book, in a weekly comic book. You never know. Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora might bring him back. I wish they do, and he definitely needs a number one of his own, because I think the way this thing is being written, I think he can carry easily a 12-issue mini series, or even like an ongoing. But yeah, so but I really dug this, guys. I can't say more about this. Like, totally check this out whenever it comes in a trade. This primetime story arc has been phenomenal. Okay, and the last DC book I have is the Black Label book. This is Swamp Thing, issue number 91. This is the final arc of Rick Veitch's run. So I think they'll put this in a trade, and then they can put this like in an omnibus or something, and finally collect everything, every issue of Rick Veitch's arc. But the final issue is like Swamp Thing confronting Anton Arcane, and this is his final battle, and you know, they're like mortal enemies. And yeah, John Constantine is thrown into the mix, so what's not to like? It's printed on like newspaper print, and even the ads are from the 90s, you know, so they've not changed anything. So, and that's always fun to see. So, but yeah, that's my review of Swamp Thing issue 91, guys. That's also the final book of the day, you know. So yeah, so I'm glad that you stuck around. If you stuck around so long, I thank you. Please check us out on Instagram as well, on Cupcakes Comic Reviews. And if you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you have any questions about any of these books, ask me. I will mostly respond to every comment that is there. And thank you for joining, and catch you next week again, guys. Take care.